Tonight, a fire rips through a Parkhurst business.
4 people charged with drugs and animal cruelty offences.
Billa residents to have their say on a nuclear future.
And swimmers get ready to compete under Twilight.
This is 7 News with Joanne, Desmond and Nathan Spurling.
Good evening, thanks for joining us.
Good evening.
Well, first tonight, a crime scene has been set up after a blaze ripped through a Parkhurst business overnight. Fire crews battled the blaze for more than 2 hours before bringing it under control. Nadia Lord has more.
A roar shattered the calm of this quiet street as the Maloney and Sons engineering building erupted in flames. 6 crews battled the flames that consumed the single-storey structure before more teams were called in for support.
That big black smoke. Inside, the glass shattered, couple of big bangs though.
Firefighters worked to contain the blaze, securing the front section of the building just after 11. It took them nearly 2 hours to fully control the fire. Paramedics were on standby, but no injuries were reported. This morning, police declared the site a crime scene. Fire investigators have been on site throughout the day, trying to determine what sparked the blaze. Police are urging anyone with information or vision of the fire to come forward.
Thank you very much for that, Nadia. Well, 4 people are facing 14 charges after a major police bust in Rockhampton. Last month, the Tactical Crime Squad swooped on a Grace Street property, locating a haul of stolen vehicles, weapons and drugs. Officers also allegedly discovered evidence of animal cruelty, with 29 roosters found in appalling conditions. The 4 offenders, all in their 30s, from Stanwell, Port Curtis, Berserker and Bouldercombe, will face court later this month.
Australian children under the age of 16 will soon be banned from social media under world-leading new laws. As Rob Scott reports, companies such as Instagram and X will be responsible for enforcing the ban.
Under the proposed new laws, the onus will be on the social media companies, not parents, to make sure children aren't on their platforms. But kids who do break the rules won't be penalised. But the Prime Minister says children who already have a social media account won't be exempt. Beyond that, though, the government hasn't released the finer details of the plan, including what fines social media companies could face for breaching the laws. And while he admits kids may be able to get around them, like they do with underage drinking, Anthony Albanese says the laws are important to have to protect their mental health.
This one's for the mums and dads. Social media is doing harm to our kids, and I'm calling time on it.
The fact is that social media has a social responsibility, but the platforms are falling short.
The changes come too late for parents like Rob Evans, whose 15-year-old daughter Liv took her own life after battling anorexia. Social media sent her into a downward spiral. He's one of more than 100,000 people who've signed a petition calling for a 16-year age limit.
Liv can't have a voice now, but I know that she wanted to achieve change for other young girls and people suffering from eating disorders. Social media is a big part of that. I feel that this is just the right thing to do.
The new laws will be developed in conjunction with the states and territories, with a special National Cabinet meeting called for tomorrow to discuss them.
Thank you for that, Rob. Well, the Federal Parliament House Select Committee on Nuclear Energy will visit Billa next week. The meeting will discuss energy issues and hear from residents after Peter Dutton suggested Callide Power Station as a possible site for future nuclear projects. Member for Flynn, Colin Boyce, says the hearing is important for the community, especially with the power station closing in 2028 and the impact on local jobs.
Livingston Council has provided vital updates on major developments and economic growth at the Partnering for Progress Procurement Forum. The event unlocks new opportunities for local businesses, making sure the Shire is in a good place for the future.
The Partnering for Progress event provides a direct link between local suppliers and council, offering insights into new projects.
This year we're going to be really focusing on our major developments, even some planning scheme amendments.
Essentially, as a local supplier of services around here, it's really important to create those relationships.
There were updates on new developments, the region's economic outlook and tenders.
It just highlights the need for local businesses to support the council and the Livingstone Shire in this area around services and employment opportunities for people and the younger generation.
Gaining insights and just really working together to provide for a better Livingstone.
The forum marks a key step in ensuring the Shire's growth is driven by local businesses.
Making sure that Livingstone's in a good place to move forward for the next 4 years.
Nadia Lord, 7 News.
Pill testing will only go ahead at Schoolies on the Gold Coast this month, with other regional Queensland locations missing out. The government backflipped on its decision to fund the program after saying it sent the wrong message about drug use.
In just over a week, thousands of Queensland graduates will celebrate 13 years of schooling. But letting your hair down shouldn't mean letting your guard down as well, especially around drugs.
These pills having increased amounts of synthetic substances, unknown substances, and unfortunately it can cause harm in these young individuals.
Pill testing services will be rolled out at major Schoolies events this month, but not at locations in regional Queensland.
We know that drugs is an issue amongst our community.
The free and confidential service will be available to more than 20,000 teens celebrating on the Gold Coast.
We know that 16% of people who do get their pills tested actually dispose of their drugs.
The president of the Australian Medical Association Queensland welcomes the program and wants to see it rolled out at other party spots like Airlie Beach and Noosa.
Pill testing is part of this solution.
The Premier backflipped on his pledge to dump the service, saying it was too late to do so.
Well, the Health Minister sought advice and there are contracts in place and those contracts have to be honoured.
The message we need to give to young people is don't take drugs. Full stop. That's it. Full stop. You don't take drugs.
Savannah Burke, 7 News.
Swimmers from across regional Queensland are set to make waves in Rockhampton this weekend. Competitors at Rocky City Amateur Swimming Club's Twilight meet will be racing for top times and a share of $17,000 in prizes.
It's still quite young, but the Twilight meet planned for this weekend is gaining popularity.
We are building it up. The difficult part for regional swimmers is they don't often get to compete in the evenings. So if you go to a national championships or you watch Olympics, they'll swim heats in the morning and then they do finals at night.
For 16-year-old Emily Smith, events like this fuel her lifelong passion for swimming.
I wasn't really great when I was little. I would just swim just to have a good time. Kicked off since then. I've been working hard. I've been making some teams and I've just really enjoyed it. There are some hard times, but you get through it.
Since moving to Rockhampton with her family in 2015, Emily is now at a level where competing reaps rewards.
Late August, I came back from Junior Panpacs, where I represented Australia at a junior level. It was my second Australian team. It was fun experiencing racing at that level and racing all the different countries like America.
To help make the meet the best it can be, Rockhampton Council has invested nearly $5,000 in the event.
This is a great opportunity to showcase our amazing facilities in Rockhampton region, but also for the students and the kids and others involved in this competition to be able to swim under lights just like the pros do it. It's probably going to be a huge excitement for them.
Christian Penny, 7 News.
It's going to be fantastic, Joe, and considering the heat, the pool is the place you want to be.
Absolutely it is, isn't it?
It will still to come, a look at what else is happening across our region for the weekend.
And the beneficiary of this year's Rockhampton Carols by Candlelight.
Stream 7 News anywhere, anytime, live and on demand on 7plus. And with 7news.com.au, you'll know the news now.
And thanks for joining us here on 7. Rockhampton's Carols by Candlelight is shining a light on mental health this year. Council has announced all money raised over the 2 nights will go to charity Walk and Talk.
'Tis the season to be jolly. Rockhampton Council is keeping up its tradition of donating proceeds from ticket sales and collection buckets at its Carols by Candlelight, this year to Walk and Talk.
So this is an amazing group of folk in Rockhampton looking after men and young men's mental health, so it's a great cause to go to.
Organisers Chris Bennett and Jordan Meehan say the money will go towards helping the charity grow.
It's going to really encourage and really help us extend our reach, provide more services for the community, as well as we were talking about going towards our hub, which is a community centre.
The organisation recently had its biggest monthly demand for support, with more than 70 people reaching out.
People can't always access our service, but if there are resources that they can connect with, in other ways, then, we're offering more of a service to the community.
This year, the event will be held indoors at the Pilbeam Theatre.
Even though it's a lovely venue outdoors under the stars, there's always that risk which councils brought up with the weather.
Meaning rain, hail or clear skies, concerts will be held on Friday, December 13 and Saturday, December 14 from 6:30 p.m. Christian Penny, 7 News.
High-range drink drivers made up nearly half of all drink driving offences last week. Drivers blew 3 times the limit on Park Street in Yeppoon, Borden Street in Bersica, Blaine Drive in Gladstone, Clinton, Tannum Sands and Barmarie. Speeding was prevalent as well among 203 offences. One driver was caught speeding at 104 kilometres an hour in a 50 zone in Farnborough.
And now for a look at what's happening around our region over the next few days, here's Nadia Lord.
Thanks, guys. As always, there's plenty happening around the region this weekend. Let's have a look at what's on. First up, psychic medium Peter Williams is back on stage. He's known for his sold-out shows across Australia, and now he's bringing his uncanny talent to the Gladstone Entertainment Convention Centre this Friday night. The event kicks off at 7 p.m. with tickets starting at $55, but remember, it is strictly age 18 plus. In Emerald, get ready for a night full of fun and flavour at the Mexican Fiesta this Saturday at the Emerald Community Kindergarten. Enjoy tacos, nachos and even a limbo competition. Festive costumes are encouraged with prizes up for grabs for the best Fiesta outfit. And for rodeo fans, the 2024 Ariat National Finals Rodeo is taking over Gracemere's CQLX from today to Saturday. Celebrating 80 years, the event will see Australia's top rodeo talent across 4 action-packed rounds, followed by some after-party entertainment. Tickets are available at the gate. And if you have an event coming up, you can let us know at newscq@7.com.au. That's it from me. Whatever you're up to, have a lovely weekend.
Oh, great. Thanks for that, Nadia. There's plenty happening over the weekend, and there's also plenty happening in sport, isn't there, Nath? CQ's rep cricket side is off to Mackay.
Yeah, Joe, they'll miss out on that Mexican Fiesta because they're undefeated at the North Queensland titles, but a big weekend in Mackay means they could come home as champions. And also this weekend, can our Rocky Wolverines knock off the Reef Bowl champs? And welcome back for all of tonight's sport. Cricket's North Queensland Championship goes on the line this weekend in Mackay with the tournament's final games. Now, Central Queensland and the Far North are the only unbeaten teams, and the winner of their clash on Saturday will put one hand on the trophy.
Cairns and Rockhampton both showed their skills at home in the opening games of the NQ Championships. Now they have to do it on the road.
They've played really well. They've been able to sort of get themselves out of tricky situations in some games, and that's given them a lot of confidence going into this weekend in Mackay.
We really want to get that championship back. We haven't won in 5 years, so that's the goal this weekend.
Central Queensland were dominant in their opening games against Townsville. We're expecting a different story against the Far North.
Cairns definitely look like on paper the strongest team in the competition for us. As a team, they generally play very well against us.
Star Far North all-rounder Jake Roach won't travel for this weekend's games, but his replacement Marcus Berryman is in form, crashing a recent 100 in the T20 competition.
Everyone's in form at the moment, so any of our top 6 can really take the game away, but Marcus coming in for Jake's very handy with the bat and ball.
They'll face off at Mackay's Great Barrier Reef Arena from 9:30 on Saturday morning. Then on Sunday, CQ will meet Mackay with Sunday, while Cairns play Townsville.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good contest between them and Townsville as well. Townsville got some quality players.
We know it's very difficult. We know it's going to be challenging, but I can assure you that we're going to be well prepared and we'll be ready to give it our best.
James Ingram, 7 News.
Meanwhile, the Rockhampton Wolverines are hoping to continue their strong start to this year's regional Queensland Gridiron League. They're heading on the road this weekend as well to take on the always challenging and reigning Reef Bowl champs, the Townsville Cyclones.
It's been a relaxed week at training for the Wolverines after their dominant first round win over Mackay.
So far so good. You trained Monday night and sort of we didn't go too heavy, just make sure the boys sort of recover from Saturday. But no, we're keen.
And the captain said it would mean a lot to start their season 2 from 2.
Not just the points of it, but sort of the confidence going into the team, saying, you know, we can go up to Townsville, we can travel that 7.5, 8 hours in a bus, in a car, and play at 6 o'clock at night and win in Townsville.
But he knows it won't be easy against Townsville, the reigning Reef Bowl champs, after coming off an opening round loss to Cairns. And their D-line is looking to cause carnage.
They're strong, they're physical, they're fast, they're athletic, so it's always a big challenge for us on the O-line to sort of keep them under wraps. So, you know, we plan for that D-line to be that physical Townsville D-line like they always are. Well, I think we can do it. I think, you know, it's up to the lads on the day to sort of, you know, play with their heart on their sleeve, and, you know, it's possible. I think we can do it, but being realistic, I think it's going to be a close game like it always is.
And the Cyclones are fired up and ready to play.
Ready for some bang and some action.
Jack Lewis, 7 News.
And a big week of racing continues tomorrow at Callaghan Park. Here now with his best bets, it's our resident expert, Russell Leonard.
Yeah, that's right, Spurling. Callaghan Park racing tomorrow for the Rockhampton Jockey Club. 8 races set down per decision. As you can see in the background, the track's in great order. Kick things off at 12.57. Winners are what we need. I'm gravitating towards 2 horses, punters, so let's profile my best bets for tomorrow's card. Early mail specials, and we kick up in race number 1. Hero Like Horse 6 and Run Free to Run. She closed off nicely first up from a break the other day when running third. She steps up in trip. I do think this suits. I do think she'll be winning, and Tash Chambers reunites the Chris Hansen stable with Run Free to Run. Then to race 7, Hero Like Horse 3 and Devil. Well, he boasts a wonderful record, this fellow. He's 2 from 4. He's a last start winner. I do think he'll go back to back, and Stanley does the running for the Taylor Yard with Devil. Oh, there they are, punters. My good things, Sir Rocky. Run Free to Run and Devil. You stick with them and you'll finish with the cash. Bet responsibly. Good luck, good punting, and I'll catch you at the track tomorrow.
Good on you, Russell. I think he's just recovered from Tuesday, so good to see him again, Joe.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Nath. After the break, Livio has all the weather details for us, and Scotty has our fishing report as well.
Good evening, Livio, Regano with tonight's weather. The heatwave warning issued for Western Queensland a few days ago has now spread to most of the state. Only the tropical coast will be spared the full wrath of the north wind, but general heat discomfort will be widespread through all of Queensland heading into the weekend. Temperatures are creeping up the scale insidiously, with Rockhampton reaching a top of 36 degrees today and Emerald hitting 39. Nights are also warming up and humidity is rising as well. To the satellite loop now. This band of cloud across Western Queensland is mostly middle and high stuff and not rain producing. However, embedded within that cloud band are thunderstorms. They formed first on the Southern Downs earlier this afternoon, and then another wave came through the Maranoa into the Western Downs slightly later on. They'll be more widespread tomorrow as the trough gets a bit closer. So today's chart. Here's the trough. It hasn't really moved much in the past few days, still straddling Western Queensland. So the whole state of Queensland essentially is directing those hot north to northwesterly winds, channeling them from equatorial areas right down to the southern border. On tomorrow's chart, the trough starts to move eastward in a better position or more favourable to produce thunderstorms, potentially severe ones, through southeastern districts, including the Darling Downs, perhaps southern parts of the Wide Bay and southeast coast. And then on the outlook chart, the trough continues to move further east. It won't be until probably Sunday or Monday before it finally moves through southeast Queensland in the form of a cool change. And now the latest from BOM. The boating forecast for Capricornia waters: northerly winds up to 25 knots tomorrow, seas to 1.5 metres. It's north-northeasterly 10 to 15 knots on Saturday, becoming northerly on Sunday. Low tide first up tomorrow, followed by a very unremarkable high tide. We're only a day away from half moon, traditionally a time when the tidal swing's at its minimum. For the Capricornia district, thunderstorms in the southwest and a high fire danger. Gladstone 33 degrees, Rockhampton and Billawheeler 38, Yeppoon 32. Central Highlands and Coalfields, a heatwave warning remains current with afternoon storms in the south. Emerald 41 degrees, Claremont 40 and Moranbah 39. Looking ahead for Rockhampton, slightly cooler next week with marginally better odds of rain. Still warmer than average though, because true southeasterly trade winds won't be returning anytime soon. And that's all I've got for you on this balmy November evening. Stay cool, drink lots of water and hang in there until the next instalment of 7 Local Weather, this time tomorrow. Now it's over to Scott Hillier with the Fishing Report.
Yeah, good on your team. Looks like the bigger boats could get a chance to sneak out offshore over the weekend. Just check that latest forecast before doing so. A bit of northerly in the forecast can always be a little bit stronger. Good redfish out in the deep. Here's a couple of tips. So fairly neapish tides on the way, so those keen to drop a big bait out in the deep should be good to go. Work those tops and bottoms of the tides, and there's some cracking big nanny guy, both small and largemouth. They've been schooling up really good on those rubble patches, along with the isolated rocks. A couple of good red emperor also mixed in with them. Hey, the coral trout also taking whole pilchards in those shallower grounds with the sweet lip mixed in with them. Those trolling pushers around the bait schools are also reporting tuna, dolphin fish, and a couple of small black marlin. Still a couple of bream being caught inshore off the rock walls and marinas with prawns and mullet strips best for bait. Now check this out. Ash Bradnam used fresh worms to fill this lovely big dart recently, fishing a surf gutter during the run-out tide. Good on you, Ash. Now look, if you're chasing some amazing fishing action, make sure you join myself and Olivia Dean this Saturday, 5:30 for Creek to Coast. We're fishing Exmouth in Western Australia and we sight cast sailfish. One not to be missed. Good luck if you hit the water. Hope you bend a couple of rods. See you next week.
And also a reminder, you can watch a replay of our news on 7plus, or of course you can download the 7 News app. From all of us here, enjoy your evening. Good night.
Good night.